This is what's great about sports.
Bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Now, Royals CEO John Sherman announces Dayton Moore out as team president.
Surprising to me. And I'll say that because you guys remember 2014, or actually 2013, 2014, 2015. Baseball in Kansas City was booming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I hadn't seen it like that. And, you know, it'd been 30 years since there was good baseball been played. Well, yeah, 84, 85, those years, you know, Frank White and those guys. But Dayton Moore, he had I would guess the wherewithal to be able to get guys, young guys, and bring them up through the student farm system. Talking to Eric Osmer, Salvador Perez, all those guys, and win two pennants.
So did he catch lightning in a bottle, or is that indicative of his skill?
Man, I think his time just ran out. You know, even though I felt like it was going to be he be in the Royals Mount Rushmore, you know, but
I mean, it's possible, but how many seasons has he been president? Like
he's been season
13, 14, somewhere in there.
Yep. To me, I feel like your time has run out. When it's gone, it's gone. You know, but it's crazy how people can go 30 years and can't go 6 or 7 years, right? Like you go 30 years without champions, no good baseball, and then now it's like, all right, we got to get back to winning all of a sudden.
No, I mean, definitely. Look at the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Look at KU. Like, look at everything. The economy around Kansas City is one that's fairly generous and a lot more generous than it has been.
Yeah.
And you need to capitalize on that if you're a sports franchise.
Okay.
You can't be small town Kansas City in the middle of the country type of thing. You can't keep that attitude. Like, Kansas City is becoming, I mean, what would you say? Top 20, 15 cities? Like we're getting pretty close. And if you are a baseball team in the summertime, you need attendance. You need a reason why people are here.
I agree.
You need to get rid of the older mentality.
I agree.
We're seeing it not only in nightlife, but across entertainment as a whole. And you can't stand if your business isn't booming.
And two, Dayton Moore is a local guy. You can say, I mean, he's from Wichita, you know, and you're only as good as your last game or your last season, right? Even as president.
Done for me lately.
Yeah. And we have Royal CEO. We have some audio from Royal CEO John Sharman. Let's hear that. Well, he talked. The crazy thing about it, while we get that, he talked about, JJ Piccolo and bringing him up. You know, he was under John Sherman. I mean, under Dayton Moore, and so now they bring him up to be, president. And the crazy thing about it is the fact that he's learned from John Sherman. I mean, he's learned from Dayton Moore, and so he talked about it. Let's hear it.
Not only am I tired of losing, I'm actually tired of picking high in the draft, and that's a consequence. I mean, I'm glad we have Bobby Witt. I'm glad we have MJ Melendez and Nick Prado and these other folks. But those teams I just described, you don't have to have one of the top 5 picks to build your team and improve your team. In fact, so I'm kind of joking about, but we want to win baseball games, and if we're picking lower in the draft, that's fine with me. But it also challenges you, I think, when you're winning more consistently, to make sure you're filling the back end of the pipeline so you can stay competitive.
When's the last time you heard an owner say, "I want to win"?
I mean, I think that's like the underlying thing. Like you expect to win, and you should expect to win. But I also, again, I like to see that fire almost, because I mean, I don't hear him speak a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Like I don't hear much from him. So to be able to come out there and say, "Hey, I want to win," I'm looking for XYZ. Like, it's things that need to happen, because again, the attendance at Royals games is not the best.
One game was like 2,800 people,
and especially when you look at home openers, like the couple of home openers between 2015 and 2016 were special home openers, and it felt different. Like it almost felt like the Chiefs home opener. So and especially if you're heading into a new stadium, like just everything, like you need that new energy.
Yeah, and even for me, like before them like going through the World Series and everything like that, like I had never been used to the Royals being good. Like it was never a thing. And so even when it was going on, it was like it felt short-lived, or like now it's like, okay, back to the normal Royals, like we're used to this. So I feel like this is a big move to break that chain and be like, no, it wasn't necessarily just like lightning in a bottle or anything like that. Like, we're here to win and keep it that way. So I guess for me, it wasn't necessarily a shock for them to go down this path again, because that's just typical Royals.
And I can see it too. The fact that you are thinking about moving, or you probably will, but you're considering moving to a new stadium.
Mhm.
Dayton Moore is old news, so to speak. Like, you're gonna move, or you're gonna take everybody that had been around before with you. I don't think that's
No.
what you're gonna do. Look, if I'm John Sherman, I just bought this team. I'm trying to start fresh. Everyone that was here before, nah, y'all not rolling. Had we been winning, that's a different story.
And I think that's what it is. Baseball just needs new energy. And
Yeah.
when you're searching for that new energy, it can't be the guy that's been here the last 15 and 20 years.
Yeah.
That's been so stagnant. Like,
I agree.
that high was high, but
I agree.
it was probably for about a year. I
Yeah.
mean, we really didn't extend it past the World Series year.
True.
And
Back
then
to reality, huh?
Yeah, because it was a surprise when they made the playoffs, and then it was like,
Yeah.
oh, they beat the A's.
Yeah.
Oh, they beat, and I forget. I think
Orioles.
it was the Orioles that
Yeah.
year. So then it was like, oh, we're going
Yeah.
to the Worlds, and so that year it lasted. But as an owner, you see the potential, because he's probably looking financially at the numbers, but I mean also the attendance, and the attendance can tell you that, like, how people are receiving this, and you miss that feeling.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, Willie Gay is probably feeling some type of way. Kansas City Chiefs starting linebacker Willie Gay suspended for 4 games. Thoughts?
This one. To be honest, I even asking Andy Reid about, did they know first? He said they knew it was coming. Willie Gay knew it was coming, but the fact that the NFL, my problem is not with Willie Gay, it's with the league. The league has to be better, as far as, if like, this happened over the summer, right? You got, and I get that you let the legal system and everything like that play out, but once it's over, like, it shouldn't take you that long to figure out, okay, we've done our internal investigation. This is what we've gathered. We see what's happened, legally. We see that he, whatever it was that I think he was like, he got probation or something like that. Either way, you know what it is. And so, like, once you understand that, and from a legal perspective, we can't create like a double jeopardy type thing. It's totally different, because this isn't like, you can't go to jail in the NFL. And so once you understand that, the 4 games, you're going to give them 4 games. Why not start it at the beginning of the season? Why not start at game 1? Because you got all training camp. And I know that Deshaun Watson stuff is going on, and they're kind of, but this is the NFL. This is $1 billion industry, right?
Yeah.
You got to have more than just that legal team over there, right, that's handling the Deshaun Watson case. You got to have more than just that. You got to have more than the, I guess, 7 or 8, 9 people in that, in that industry.
Definitely.
Yeah, I hate it for all parties involved.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what happened.
Right.
2, because of the emotional damage that comes from this. And being able to handle that. I think we spoke about it earlier in the week. I think you said he had already started counseling and things like that. And you would wish that counseling or whatever was sought before the incident happened.
Right. He said he's been talking to the Chiefs have a doctor on staff, Dr. T, and he was talking to him, throughout.
Yeah, no,
even
and
before.
Even before.
Yeah, he said he'd been.
Yeah, so even then, I wish that whatever the issue was, I wish that it would have just gotten ironed out beforehand.
Yeah.
And not necessarily because he's missing football games, because you don't know what the young lady went through. And so again, having all parties involved in this situation you would think there was some kind of mediator or some kind of friend around, but again, these are young 20 somethings that we're probably talking about. And just that relationship realm, it gets so sticky, and you hate to see it have to cross over into his professional life.
Yeah, and the fact that even if he is going through things now, even hearing from Nick Bolton, teammate, another linebacker, young guy, he said he called him, checked on him outside because he wants to know how you're doing outside of just being on the field. Andy Reid said the same thing. They're trying to make sure that you're good away, just because he's talked about having the mental at the beginning of the season or end of the season last year. He had tweeted about how he wasn't doing good mentally. I don't know if you guys remember that, but so there was a question asked, even though he said that, like, how is he doing? Are you still checking on him? Has the league looked into, taking football away from someone who's dealing with some stuff mentally, how that could possibly affect them? And Andy Reid said, yeah, they have, kind of looked into it. He's going to be suspended for the 4 games. The 2, he's out of the system, away from the stadium and the team for 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, he's able to go back.
And even just drawing that out, like mentally and anticipating that down the pipeline, it's just like, if you have enough time to prep your lineups and everything, like they have talked about giving certain people reps in preparation for the suspension. So it's been pending, and like having that anxiety and like knowing that you're fighting for your position, but also fighting yourself mentally, like it's like a double-edged sword. So I definitely agree that that should have been ironed out from the jump, and I don't understand why it wasn't.
Yeah, it just
but that's it's the pressures of playing on one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Again, fighting for a position on that team, fighting for contracts, because he's in his 2nd or 3rd year.
He's in his 3rd year.
3rd year?
Yep.
Yeah. And so again, young player, still a young guy. And yeah, sometimes you get in the stuff with women. Again, you just hate that it goes this far.
Yeah, it was his kid's mom too.
Yeah, and so it takes that leveling out life along with your job, and
it really does.
I think a lot of those guys really just, I won't say they fall victim, but I mean, it's you fall victim to that anxiety. You fall victim to the expectations of what's expected of you, not only from your immediate family, but like your extended family, your friends and all that. So it takes a lot, but I mean, like you said, he's voiced that he's had issues before. You just wish, again, that things get ironed out and you could learn anger management, things like, because we all struggle with that.
Yeah,
like
and we don't learn it. We don't learn it young.
Yeah,
like it's after the fact that we learn, like going through age and going through some things. Yeah,
it takes those lumps, and hopefully these 4 games, it doesn't happen anymore. Like it not relating this to Josh Gordon, but I mean, Josh Gordon
been a model citizen,
kept having his issues over seasons, and they were silly issues, but still he had to play within the rules, and he didn't. So you would hope for this kid it's not something that repeats. You would hope that these 4 games he learns.
I agree.
But then also moving forward becomes an advocate for against violence against women, different things like that. So just hoping moving forward he learns.
Definitely. Boston Celtics suspend head coach Udoka for entire 2022-2023 NBA season.
And hold on real quick before we talk about that. Shout out to everyone who's talking on our social media feed. Adam Garcia, friend of the show, he said the Cowboys are the hottest team. They are not the hottest team. Stop it. Even though I have them as one of my Super Bowl, contenders right now, I still do. They're not the hottest team. So we can talk about Udoka now.
Let's hear it.
When you think about Udoka and the story that came out, like how did you guys hear about the Udoka story?
On Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Woj tweeted it out like like
Yeah.
he like it was gonna be some serious incident,
Yeah.
like he murdered somebody heinously
Yeah.
or something like that, and then it comes out like, oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, so when a story breaks, it normally there's like NBA stories when they break, you hear Woj, you hear there's only very few people,
Shams, it's a
Sham, Charnia,
couple.
yeah, there's only a few people that can break stories. When you hear from them, that's when you know it's real. So yeah, just the story in general, and I believe I saw it. There was like some kind of tweet that was put out that said, yeah, one of Boston's coaches has been into like some kind of scandal or whatever, having a relationship with a woman on staff, right? That's how I saw it. And that was like a one of those fake tweets from a fake account, right? And I was like, what is this? And next thing you know,
Burner
an hour after that, it came out. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, this is serious. And there's still a lot to be talked about that hasn't come out yet. But I think for him to be suspended a year, that's the same amount that the Suns had. I mean, the owner got.
But
I just
also,
don't agree with it.
but also that was a team suspension, so like
Yeah.
the team probably has a higher standard than the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
but now I want to know what I'm tired of talking about how vaguely this is. Like, what did he do that was that bad?
Yeah.
And I think that's what everybody wants to know now, because it's like we could talk about it till we're blue in the face, and this is probably something that's going to last throughout like I wouldn't say the first half of the season, but you're probably up to like Thanksgiving or Christmas games. We'll still be talking about it and getting new stories and new accounts of what happened and all that. But I just hate it. Like, what? Like,
but even 24 hours later, they had originally said that the relationship was consensual, and then later the woman accused him of making unwanted comments. So it's still unraveling.
Yeah. And like in any job, you have upper management, owners, upper management, and then you have like staff, employees, or what have you. Like most jobs, they have the rule, like if you're not equal, the top person can't date somebody down here. It doesn't work. Like most of the time you see people like they'll split and go to different jobs or whatever because they can't work together. And so, and there's rumor that she's married and all that stuff. We're not gonna get into that, but like this is still kind of confusing because and even folks that brought up, Jenny Buss and Phil Jackson. That relationship. Well, Jenny wasn't the owner. She was the owner's daughter. Is the owner's daughter, and so it's not the same. It's totally not the same. And I just don't think that a year was, unless there's something more, a lot more.
It's a lot more to it.
To give him a whole year.
Because even Matt Barnes' video was like, I withdrew my support.
Yeah.
So like, again, even with little Easter eggs like that, the burner account, like the burner account from probably an NBA player, probably on the team, which leads me to another question. Like, how many professional players, and especially in the NBA, do you think have burner accounts? Like the NFL, they probably don't. But the NBA, it's probably a lot of guys that have burner accounts. Just KD got the idea from somewhere. But now there's a lot surrounding it, and everything being so hush hush just tells me like it was something crazy. And again, you hate it for the optics because we were cheering for this black man head coach and him doing so well. And it makes me think about a tweet. I'll say it off here. But no, you hate it for, again, for everyone involved, because now Nia Long gets involved and she gets dragged in this, and now we got congressmen shooting shots at her on Twitter, and like it's just a lot going on surrounding it. So which means it's probably something very terrible behind it.
You know, I hate it for their family, him as well. But I also hate it for the players too, because like they made it to the finals last. Like this is a good team.
Yeah.
It's not just a team that is not a contender. This is a good team. So if I'm Jason Tatum, I'm like, man, does he have to be suspended a year? and most of the time, like when guys get suspended where they're player or coaches, if they a whole year, you're not coming back the next year.
And then
like you're done.
And then I mean, yeah, because right now players are getting ready for probably camp or
it comes
like
up
that.
Week after next.
They
start playing in October.
And because like none of the players have said anything.
They're not going to. They're not going to.
Well, and I'm not saying anything like saying that, but I'm like, have they tweeted? Have they been on Instagram? Like, I'm wondering if they even had their planned social media posts. Like, yeah, this interrupts a lot,
It does.
Especially for no details to come out. So it's like, all right, why are we even talking about this?
It breaks up the whole continuity of the team. Like it just kind of throws that wrench in there that you're always going to be, because like it takes away the focus of what the end goal is, and their end goal is to win a championship, get back to where they were last year.
Because how do you have media day now?
Exactly. Every question is going to be that.
And I hate to put it this way because I don't want to discredit the situation and what he did, but do you think if the team wasn't in that successful position, the consequences would have been different?
Nah, because I think the Celtics are just one of those organizations.
Yeah. It's Boston. It's Boston. Because I don't want to read too much into it, but like of what I think happened. Right. Like, I mean, I really do feel like once the news, they said that they knew back in July. Right. And they were like, all right, knock it off. Like you gotta cut this. And then once stuff kept going, it's like, all right, now we told you. And so, yeah, that's just my 2 cents, but it is what it is. And now we'll wait on more news. I'm sure we'll talk about it within the next few weeks.
We'll be talking about it probably for the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, because now they're without their head coach and then assistant coach, Joe Mazzulla. He's going to be the interim head coach.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. Because you had it good, like Rick. Yeah. Come on, you had it good. You had a good team. Yeah. You can't come into a better situation as a coach.
Yeah, like, and having a girlfriend that's Nia Long. Like, what?
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that, but
yeah, that's funny because this KU Duke games looks like a preview of the Chiefs Colts.
It does. Now, Robert Sarver announces plans to sell NBA's Phoenix Suns and WNBA's Mercury amid controversy.
This is interesting. We talked about him a little bit. The fact that they gave him a year suspension. And I think that was just enough to say, all right, you got to, and the players, you got Chris Paul speaking out, you had LeBron James speaking out. And we even mentioned last week about possibly the players just sitting out, not even playing. And I don't feel like they should have to do that, especially you got young guys on the team who don't make as much as Paul and as those guys. It's a big name guys. And so they shouldn't have to do that. But I feel like somebody called him and said, hey, man, you need to sell this team. But even within that, me and my buddy Mike Lang was talking about this yesterday. It's like he's really going to fall forward because he bought the team at one amount when they weren't as good as they are now. And then let's just say, throw a number out there, they're worth $20 million and he bought them for $2 million. Well, he's going to sell the team and come ahead. Or not million, but billion. He's going to sell the team and now become ahead. And so he's falling forward. So that's a helping him out.
No,
like my team evaluated it more than what I bought it for. Oh, I'm ahead.
Look, racism pays, and it definitely pays well. But I think similar to what I was saying about the economy within the city, within the metropolitan area with the Royals and Dayton Moore, I parallel that with Phoenix. You have the Super Bowl coming up. You have a lot that's happening within a city. Yeah. And yes, this NBA owner is gonna have to get out of here. So one, like you said, he falls forward. I think it's a no-brainer for him. He gets a payday.
Big one.
he gets a very big payday.
He's still gonna be a billionaire, even though he did all this stuff. He's still gonna be a billionaire.
Exactly. That's why I have that's why I have so I lean so heavy on my extreme views against racism, because it's like, what's their punishment? People get to say bad things, and not even bad things. They get to rightfully call you a racist, and then and then what? You get to just sit on all this money. Oh, my feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
Like, like that is wild to me. Like, he shouldn't be able to sell the team.
There should be going forward. There's more than, and this is the crazy thing. So like the folks with money, and it ain't all of them. That's not all of y'all. But the folks with money, they've done. Everyone has some skeletons in their closet. Mm-hmm. And the reason why some of the other owners, to me, don't come out and say, all right, nah, this is bad. This is a bad deal, is because they don't want their skeletons to come out, right? Robert Sarver probably knows a lot of these skeletons, a lot of these folks. You know, rich people know rich people. That's just how it is. And so he's like, all right, you need to figure it out. You need to get this away from our investment, our money making machine. You need to go sell this.
You mean like John Gruden?
Yeah, of course. Of course, there's other skeletons there. There's other guys in that league that got some stuff in their closet that they don't want coming out.
They definitely do.
So with that being said, that's why when folks ask about, well, why don't these other owners step up and kind of condemn him? Well, no, they're not going to. And the reason why is because they got some stuff that they don't want coming out that he knows. Mm-hmm. So
on that note, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll discuss Herm Edwards apparently fired on football field right after the game. Keep it locked in. This is W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live. Into the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, message us, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. But Arizona State athletic director met with head football coach Herm Edwards on field after loss to Eastern Michigan. Let's see what happened after the game first.
You know what's crazy about Herm Edwards and what happened? Like, this dude was walking off the field, and the athletic director and the other representative was waiting on him in the end zone, and he got fired, like right there.
Like, just whispered in his ear.
Just whispered in his ear.
Yeah. But because I saw the story yesterday about his staff literally leaking plays and information, or just whatever it is, game plans to the opposite team. Like, what is going on out there? Yeah. Like, what's happening in the state of Arizona?
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And as decorated as Herm Edwards is, like we talk about skeletons in Vo's closet. Like Herm got some stuff. I mean, not a lot of people like Herm Edwards.
Yeah.
Not a lot, and like just talking to a former Chiefs player because he was the coach of the head coach of the Chiefs a few years back. And I was asking like, different coaches that this guy's had, and he's a pretty popular player. And he was like, yeah, man, Herm was just that dude that nobody really fooled with him. He's like, I was working out one day and Herm came in and got on the treadmill next to me. And Herm he was like, hey, what's up, coach? And Herm didn't say anything to him. And he's like, well, first I thought he had on some headphones or whatever. He said, nah, he never would speak to people. He would just like be weird like that. And nobody really liked him. I mean, and we hear about like Andy Reid, with young guys, he won't call you by your name. He'll call you by your number. Like, it's little stuff like that. Like, of course, you're a rookie. Like, you don't deserve to be called by your name. You're gonna be called by your number 15. You're gonna be 15 until you become Patrick Mahomes, right?
That's fair.
Yeah. So little stuff like that. But he still acknowledges you. He still is your head coach, but not just I'm gonna get on my treadmill and I'm just gonna be running. Hey, coach, what's up? Nothing after that. Nah, that don't fly.
Yeah, that is weird. But yeah, something is going on, and I think this is one of those stories that can be developing even further, because even just like leaking game plans to the other team. Like, are you that terrible of a person, or are they that terrible of a school? Like,
they wanted you out. Somebody wants you out. They gonna get you out,
and that's what I'm saying.
Get him up out of there.
Like, what? How do you get to that point? Like, that's I wouldn't say that's unheard of. That's probably not a first in sports. That level of espionage almost, but like
that's high level.
Yeah, that's some high level stuff. But like, how do you get to that point that you don't like this guy that you hired so much, this like monumental hire, and now it's like you get there where it's like, I'm just gonna sabotage what he has going on till he's out of here, and that's some high level hate.
Yeah, and now you get like all these speculations of guys possibly replacing Herm, like Deion. Deion's name's been thrown out there. Deion has a great situation.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah. Herm. Yeah. But Herm's another guy that's gonna fall forward. Like, he's gonna just go right back to commentating. So I don't feel bad for Herm. It's not like he was done wrong. I will say this though, getting him off the field right when he loses to what school were they playing?
Michigan.
Eastern Michigan. That is kind of harsh. That's kind of harsh. That lets you know something else was up there. That like, nah, we gonna get this dude right when he come. No, we're not waiting another minute. Let's go get him right now, Bob.
Yeah, whoever.
And he had a fly commercial going back home. That lets you know.
Hey, because whoever leaked those game plans, like, they have to be finalists for Player Hater of the Year.
Oh yeah.
Top two, and they're not two.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the fly commercial, we hear about it all the time, like guys getting cut, like, and then having a fly commercial. But come on, Herm, at least buy your first class.
And then you
think he's in coach?
And then if
what if you get on a plane, you on Southwest, Herm sitting right next to you? Like, Herm, you come from Arizona too?
Look, I'm gonna play that Khaled and Jay-Z song. God did. Herm did.
Now, USC's first ever majorette dance team, the Cardinal Diva, is making moves amid backlash. The video has gone viral and shows the Divas performing at SC's first game against Fresno State. Let's see the video she posted on Twitter.
Dope.
Man,
love it. Dope.
Go crazy.
Yeah, and they're getting a lot of backlash from that.
Yeah. No, because I mean, the backslash rightfully stems from HBCU culture, and it's a sensitive topic because if this gets popular in D1,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna see black cheerleaders anymore.
Mm.
And it's gonna get so whitewashed. So
Mm.
that's where the backlash comes from.
Yeah.
Like this will be whitewashed and gentrified, and then all of a sudden, Kim Kardashian was the creator of majorette culture.
Yeah, I
Like
can see that.
so that's why people are so sensitive about it. But the representation behind that, being able to take something that yes, that is popular among HBCU schools, but then being able to create that dance crew at a D1 college is just unheard of. And so yes, it's monumental. So hopefully other schools do that, just like for BSU is for black students.
Mm-hmm.
Majorette culture should be specifically for black students.
Definitely. And along with the video, the tweet, she said, "Oh, nothing, just created a majorette team at PWI and performed at our first game," and talked about how she's truly blessed and can't thank God enough, and also her family for supporting her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. And like you said, as long as it doesn't get, like, because normally in the video there were, they only I only saw 3. And so as long as you don't start seeing like, and there's nothing wrong with it, but like as long as you don't take away from what it's meant to be, and I can agree with that. And Q, you went to a HBCU. Does this like rub you the wrong way as far as like,
it doesn't
taking into okay.
It doesn't, and because for me it's the representation, and especially in an area where you don't get that representation,
especially USC,
and you don't get people that listen to you because you're black, so they probably automatically think you're dumber and you don't know what you're talking about. So yes, again, this is a step in the right direction, but again, I hope they treat this like a BSU. Like this needs to be for black students to help them advance in whatever they're going to school for.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Now, Tyra Taylor suing a Chargers team doctor $5 million for malpractice. Steve?
This is interesting, man, because if you guys remember, Tyrod, the Chargers were facing the Chiefs out in LA. And, it was one of those games like, oh, well, Tyrod's playing. We don't really know. We don't know what to expect.
Because he's good.
Yeah, we don't know what to expect. And all of a sudden, Tyrod had a rib issue. He was suffering from, I think it was fractured rib. And the doctor was, he was going to see the doc and he was giving him a shot. I don't know whether it was to deaden the pain or whatever, but he punctured his lung. And in runs Justin Herbert to start the game. No one had any film on Justin Herbert. He's a rookie. We don't know what he's able to do.
He's out there slanging
and
that
out
thing.
there, man. So my thing, part of me says that this was planned.
Yeah.
A part of me, I don't put it past.
My first instinct was
I
like,
don't know, I'm looking at it.
It makes too much sense.
It makes way too much sense.
And Tyrod hasn't seen the field as a starter since.
I mean,
that was my initial reaction. I agree,
he's a black quarterback in the NFL. Anything is possible.
Yeah. Hey Doc, we'll cover your malpractice if you do something so that he's not able to play. We need this kid to play.
Yeah,
we need this kid to play. Doctor,
Cold
look, Doc, I'm coming to you, Doc. We need this kid to play. I'm coming to you.
Look, coming from a league that the coaches don't even recognize people until they've done something good for them. Like, yes, I believe that conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
and
I'm just saying,
and I need to be proven otherwise until I come off of this hill. And I think, Steve, if we go back to the footage, I probably said something similar on a show that week.
Yeah, it's crazy though. And rightfully so. He should. He should. I think he should receive a little bit more than $5 million.
He should probably get about as much as Sarver gets.
And that couldn't have been your first rib shot.
$1 million? A B?
I mean, they pierced his lung, Steve.
Yeah,
pierced his lung.
Yeah,
intentionally pierced his lung, Steve.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I mean,
Now, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll have our Hate It or Love It segment and kick it off with our Sneakers of the Week. This is W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag Talk About It, message us, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
Starting off the Sneakers of the Week, we have the Air Jordan 1 High OG Women's Denim.
These are dope.
Tough.
I wanted to get them when they came out earlier this summer. Didn't happen, but whatever.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
they're weak to me.
Really?
I don't know why.
What's not giving?
I don't know, but when I see them, I'm like,
I'm rocking them. Those might be my favorites this week, actually. But the Reebok Shack Attacks.
I remember these. I think these are the one that came with the little it's like a little tube you could put on and pump them, like inflate them as well as like a little green neon green tube. Yeah, SKU just scored again, up 14-7 over Duke. Wow.
Yes, sir.
With 100 rushing yards in the first quarter. Ridiculous. But these are trash to me. This is a weak lineup this week, Steve.
Nike Zoom Flight 95 Photo Blues.
Oh yeah, Jason Kids, you remember these?
Yeah,
Trash.
They cool. They cool. I would hoop in them.
Hard pass. Last but not least, the Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG Yellow Toes.
I'm feeling these, honestly. Like, these are my favorites this week, other than the Shacks. But yeah, I like these.
It was just a weak week.
I haven't
me.
owned a pair of yellow sneakers before. I mean, I've had tan, gold, whatever, but I haven't owned yellow yet. So this may be a first.
I rock. Now, the New Orleans barbecue restaurant bans Mike Evans for life. Hate it or love it.
I love it.
This is funny. This is really funny. Like, I think it's kind of a reach, but you make headlines. Look, we're talking about it on our Hate It or Love It. You made our show, so
I wonder how good their food is to be banning people, because maybe they're on his ban list of barbecue spots.
Let's see the fight.
Let's see how this started. Brady and Marshawn Lattimore, and then Fournette gets involved.
Yeah, Fournette. Oh, and then Mike Evans came, and
Both teams to the sideline. Both teams to the sideline.
you see Evans came off, and he just rocked Lattimore. Wouldn't be surprised to see some guys thrown out of this one here, KB.
Yeah, New York can get involved and make decisions here. We told you earlier about Lattimore and Evans. They really don't like each other. They've had issues in the past. And that is really what got this going. And then Evans came on to heat it up. Flags everywhere. Boy, oh boy, what a mess.
Wow.
First of all, if I'm Mike Evans, I'm getting at Brady and I'm getting at Leonard Fournette. First of all, second of all, because y'all started it and I run from the sideline to have y'all back, and then I'm on the ground tussling with these dudes, and y'all standing over me watching. Y'all standing over there hugging and stuff. Just hugging. Nah, but it's crazy, man. Like Mike Evans, you can tell the Lattimore. Adam, stop trolling. He said Louisiana barbecue is better than KC.
I got
stop.
the perfect shirt on.
He's got it. Can we ban him from the show right now? And that's coming from somebody with family from Louisiana. Yeah.
But yeah, Evans, you can tell him and Lattimore they've had issues past few years.
Yeah.
But what do you think Brady said? Which I think came out of Brady. As Brady pointed,
he probably didn't say anything intimidating.
I thought Brady was about to give him the pow pow for a second there, but he gave him the something. And Lattimore said, "What?
My hedge fund is far more equitable than yours."
Yeah, Lattimore came over, and then Mike Evans finished it. But the fact that he was the only one on the ground. I'm mad at Brady. Like, come on, Tom.
Yeah.
Come on, Leonard Fournette. Come on. Like, nah, that ain't. I ain't rocking with that.
Now, NBA draft age eligibility expected to be lowered from 19 to 18. Hate it or love it?
I love it because that it just seems racist. Like I don't even know that. Like, like what? Like I'm good at this. I can't become a professional after high school.
Here's the thing though, and I was happy when they took it away, to be honest, because they had no specific ruling around it.
Yeah.
As far as like talent wise, I mean, you had guys that, and now it's a little different because I mean, again, back then you didn't have social media, you didn't know like what kids could really do, but you had guys come out like Sebastian Telfair. What was the cat that played with for the Blazers? I can't remember his name. His bad knees. I mean, you had some guys that really came out and they weren't ready. I just feel I hope with this that you get like some kind of qualification. Like if you're coming out of high school going your college career and jumping in that NBA, I just hope that you have to have some kind of, all right, you've done this, you've done that. I know it's a little different. But
and that's where I agree because just like how we talked about Willie Gay and really trying to handle being a professional, but then also balancing your personal life and your family life with that can become an issue for somebody so young.
Yeah.
And I feel like basketball players are a little more socialized than football players. So I'm still on the bandwagon. I mean, LeBron came from high school.
Yeah,
and we seen how that worked.
Kobe did, KG.
Yeah, like we see how those worked out. And they came up in a far rougher time than we have now. But again, if teams can provide resources for these young guys, especially to care for them not only as employees and players, but just as people, I think it could work out.
Yeah, and not only and two, social media right now has done some things for kids who may not even really be that good. Like you got a kid and I'm not saying he's not good, but Mikey Williams, the YouTube sensation on Instagram, has millions of followers. This for him, I think, because he has that, those followers and has the hype around him. Yeah, the league would take him just to sell some tickets. But can he play against grown men?
And I think that's the underlying thing. But I mean, in the NBA, you have a development league.
Yeah, send them down. If they can't cut it, send them down.
So send them down. I mean, they do it in baseball.
Yeah.
And then why would you want to feed kids to the NCAA? No.
Yeah. Right. I mean, and honestly, right now you can probably go and make way more in the NCAA than you can first year. What's first year player get in the league? $1 million, $2 million, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, you could possibly make $1 million going to college and having fun.
Possibly,
because once you get to that league, it becomes a business.
Yeah.
Possibly, but I could also gamble on going to the D League as well. And
D League doesn't get paid that much.
I mean, they don't get paid
12
that
grand.
much. But if I can develop my skills to then become a
do
guy
that in college though,
a guy that no,
and get your $1 million. Would you rather go to the D League?
Yes,
and get $10,000-$12,000 for the season, or go to NCAA, go to Duke, the NCAA, and have the time of your life and get $1 million?
I mean, but you're talking about from an NIL deal. Why would not? If I'm such a big name that can go to the NBA,
there's more stipulations on like sponsorship deals in the league. You can't get those because with the partnerships that the league has, so you ain't able to get those kind of sponsorships.
Oh well, then that sucks. Well, and I'm saying like endorsement deals, not sponsorships. But
there's different levels of it. Like, you know, the endorsement deals. Some things you're not able to do.
Yeah, that's some gatekeeping. That's kind of dirty right there.
Slimy.
Yeah.
Asia Wilson called on everybody to take 4 shots before Las Vegas WNBA championship parade. Hate it or love it.
Love it.
I love it. Brings more like hype around.
It brings more energy to the WNBA, but then I love it for the guys that watch women and say, "Oh, you should be quiet and meek and all of this." And it's like, turn up, sis.
Thank you. Let's hear what she said post game.
First off, Chelsea, and Asia, congratulations. We're waiting for y'all to come back so we can turn up at Dre's tonight.
E40 Asia, in the building, Bay Area.
Don't get the plans away. I talked to you at the end of the regular season about the crowd in the finals. We talked about the crowd, but now I got to talk to you about the crowd in this parade later this week. Tell Vegas how they should come into this parade and the energy level and where it's going to be at.
You have to take 4 shots. Children take shots of ginger ale, but you got to take 4 shots before you pull up to the parade and drink responsibly. But in order to get to the parade, you got to be 4 shots in. It's unacceptable if you're not. The Bellagio fountains, we skiing across that thing. We going crazy because, like, I don't think people understand how important this really is. This is huge. So Vegas, turn up. I saw the cops with our logo on the car. Y'all better lace up because we about to go crazy. So Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. Be there or be square. If you ain't 4 shots in, don't come. Stay at the house. Children, drink some ginger ale. Pop ginger ale. Drink responsibly. Don't be crazy now. But Usher, I better see you, Usher. I'm not playing with you. Usher, I better see you, Usher.
Usher's not on Zoom yet.
Everybody come to the city. He's trying to do this.
Usher's not on Zoom yet, so we're going to finish with Maria.
E40 there. Drake. Everybody.
I love it, man. I love it. And that brings that's what we're talking about. Like, they need stories to bring more viewership to to women's basketball or women's sports in general. Just give those stories. That way, I mean, you need that kind of entertainment.
Yeah,
energy.
Yeah, I love the energy. Like it's needed in women's sports as a whole. So yes, I love it.
All right, I'm over here like I need to pull up. Like, this looks too fun. I want to kick it with her, but I definitely love it for women's sports. And just like even with us being able to experience the Chiefs parades and like seeing everybody get to go crazy and everything, and then see women be able to match that is just awesome and bring that same energy. I would love to be a part of it.
I don't even like Vegas, and I want to pull up.
J.R. Smith blasts Jay Crowder for not paying back debt. Hate it or love it.
I love it because, like, I wonder what the debt is.
Like, yeah, me too. Like, I wonder what it is.
Clearly, there's a story behind that.
I wonder what it is too.
Yeah, he give up them funds, my man.
LeBron James shaves his head and embraces the bald look as the Lakers star posts a snap of his haircut. Hate it or love it.
Finally.
Yeah, I don't know. Has anybody seen Bron since he posted this photo?
No, I mean, like, finally, because we were tired of Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, it's funny though, because like you get guys that know that their hair is going, and they'll cut it like super. We call it the Kobe, because like Kobe knew his hair was going, but he cut it super low to where you knew he still had some hair, but Brian was doing it, and he still had like a little of that spray and stuff. You could come. I'm like, oh, Brian, that ain't it. That's not giving. Like, no,
looking like Lamar's donuts.
But yeah, no, this is it's funny. Like I said, nobody's seen Brian since he's done this. But yeah, hopefully he can figure something out. And he got young kids too that's in high school. They tell him like, "Hey, Dad, that ain't it. Come on, Pop, that ain't it." Ain't it? But we appreciate everyone who hung out with us today. We thank you for all the comments. Thank you for watching us each and every Saturday morning. Remember, you can catch a rewind of our show on Mondays, 100.1 FM, 1 Kansas City Radio. Also, remember to check out myself and Darren Smith tomorrow. Pregame show. The pregame cheat sheet will be on 1 hour before the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Indianapolis Colts out there in Indy. Until next week, we are out of here.
Peace.
The views and opinions expressed of the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, 1 Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.